Okay, all right. This is starting from the front yard out here. You got to go through this gate. Here's your access to the side through this little this walkway to get to the backyard. And then, so what we're going to do is we're going to start here and clean up all this ivy, and it needs to be trimmed back, even back with the wall where it gets really close to the fence. This bougainvillea needs to be taken out. And then there's a bougainvillea here that's intertwined in the ivy here, right here, as you can see. And it goes in the ivy. And then in here, what we're going to do is we're going to remove all this plant work here, and we're going to put in mulch. So there's going to be mulch throughout here. And then there's going to be, then we're going to start out here. Here's the garden area. I already have it all laid out for you, so it's pretty simple. Right here, we're actually going to do pavers. And then a little rock border with the 4x4 rock, 3 rows of 4x4 rock going the border around the outside and returning to the wall here. This area right here is about 14 feet long and about 8 foot out to the wall. And this is going to be like a little patio area for Vivian, Rick's wife. That concrete needs to be removed. These rocks need to be removed as well. And then we're going to start on the garden from this line right here is going to be gravel going out that way. Let me widen this a little bit. There you go. So this is all going to be gravel where this garden is. So this side over here, from there, that is going to be all pavers and then a rock border. The pavers could be set in sand. The rock border needs to be cemented in. And it's going to be, like I said, 4x4 little squares, 3 rows of them going along. And then here, we got to move out over these stones over about 4 inches, but we got to put gopher wire underneath this whole area. So all this soil has to be dug up at least 3 to 4 inches out, and then it moved over to one side and then to the other side. Then we have to assemble all these planters. All these planters have to be assembled, stacked 2 high. So it's going to be 2.
Okay, well, you mean to look at it? Or
5.5 inch, 2x6 boards, 2 high, with stakes in each corner to hold them in place. Plus, we have to have gopher wire in here, and then we have to have weed barrier. All this gets gravel, peat gravel. So, and then you got to put it together. All these planters with gopher wire underneath them and dig them out at least 6 inches deep for the gopher wire because we need growth. And so it keeps going. So then these planters are the whole same way. And then we got to put sprinklers in each one of these. We got to put sprinklers in each one of these holes. I mean, each one of these planter boxes. There's a total of 11 planter boxes that get sprinklers in each one of them with the drip system. And everything has gopher wire.
is the 2 separate? You know, this is one job and then go to the hardscape.
So, and then we're over here. Then we got to put borders. This border will have to be a new border out of 2x6 pressure treated lumber. So on this side gets the rocks, the pea gravel. This side gets grass. And over there, that circle is going to be a fire pit. So we're going to be building a fire pit and pavers with the 4x4 square rocks that will go side by side. So it'll be a foot wide circle around out of concrete and those square rocks. And then the center's pavers with a fire pit in the center. That's about 48 inches in the center here. But all the outside of this is going to be grass. So this will be all grass. And then the grass has to be as high as that deck. And these rocks have to be continued off the deck and onto the path down there. But all those rocks need to be moved over in between the planter box and the wall. And then these have to have pressure treated lumber here and then along here to make those planter boxes for around the wall. And then it needs to kind of look like this side when the grass is done. The other guy did this, but Rick thought it was a little bit too much. But this is beautiful. That's what the first guy did, but he wanted to shop. So here's all the dirt out of the planter mix that we took out of the whole yard before. It's just stacked up on the deck, and there's a pile of dirt out front for the filler, and we could use that. So all this, actually the dirt up here needs to be moved down this way because it's too high and it slopes. All the planter boxes have to be level. Planter boxes. So now, and then out here, we're going to build a retaining wall, planter box kind of, not planter box, but retaining wall so it's going to be about 40 feet, and it's going to go contour back from here. It's going to come out like this, then go into some steps that are going to be here, about that wide, and then we're going to come back out with the planter box and come out here, and then so that's going to be a cinder block outer planter box with veneer stone on the outside of it. Plus, then we have to close off the front of this deck with pressure treated 2x12s. So the dirt doesn't go underneath the deck. You can see it's all open. But we gotta fill that in with 2x12s so the planter box has a closure. And then we have to put gopher wire in this planter box too at the bottom, so no gophers come up from the bottom. So we got gopher problems here. So the hardscape part is this 40-foot or more retaining wall that will go here for her vegetable garden, come back out, and then come back over to here. And then we got to actually extend this with the nether board so we could fill in this down dipping area so everything's level. So that's the hardscape there. And then this ring, it's going to be around pavers with that 4-inch, actually 12-inch border, but it's 4x4 stones on the 12-inch border. And then the other paver area. But all this has to have irrigation too, because this is all going to be grass around the fire pit area. So then you got to bring in your sod. We want Marathon 2 sod. So if you could get out here, I know it's short notice. I don't know what to say. Rick just wanted another price, but this is that thing that you got to get rid of all these plants too. So, all right, that's it.